Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we have a little bit to cover for our video. However, before we do get started, I do want to address that Friday and Saturdays I will be posting the majority of my videos. As for Thursday, I will be pre-recording and editing them as I am the only editor and the poster of my own videos. As for my first video, I feel like I have done a good job, but otherwise, please leave that in the comments and will read them. I have read my comments in my first video. I do keep an eye on those and see where I have issues, where I need to improve, and whatnot. However, the first video has seemed to go well, and I am very glad it has gone very well. As for today, we are going to be doing a Harrow build guide, and I will show you how to get the arcanes this time, and how Harrow works, and how to build him for Steel Path to become an absolute tank and a menace on the battlefield. So without further ado, let's get started and jump right into the build. Okay. Rap, tap, tap. I don't know, it's just really catchy. Alright, so this is Harrow Prime. Harrow Prime is a very interesting warframe. There is a quest actually on him, the original Harrow, but it's you know, like I said in my last video, the same concept as a Prime, the exact same warframe, just different performance, depending on if you see it or not. I personally don't see it, but it's just how they are. How to obtain Harrow is through relics. He is now vaulted, so it's a first come, first serve, so if you already have the relics for Harrow, you might want to get him before it's too late. He does go for, I think, a decent amount if you are willing to trade and sell them to other players. I'm not sure. Warframe market is definitely something to look at before you do start selling and trading, because it's just a lot easier, in my opinion. However, the other way you can get Harrow Prime is through Prime Resurgence. I do know that. I do think you still can. If not, then it might be in the future. So the Prime Resurgence option for getting Harrow Prime is a 50-50. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that you can get him from Prime Resurgence. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It is completely up to you. As for how Harrow works, his passive is Overshield. So basically what it does is, depending on how much energy that you start with in a mission, whether you got max energy with the Arcane Shards or preparation, you gain that much shield. So for example, let's say I start with 180 shield or energy. You get 180 overshield to start with. So it's really nice. It happens in every mission, including arbitration. I don't think it works in nightmare missions if it's a no shield. Condemn is the first ability we're gonna look at today. The first ability is a vertical line of chains of a kinetic energy that freezes enemies in chains, which allows you to kill them quicker while they can't attack you, and be able to rebuff. As my third, second, and fourth ability are the buffs for Harrow. Moving on to the second one, this affects the shields. When you use this ability, it takes away your shield completely, depending on how much shield you have. It's the duration. It increases the fire rate, depending on how much strength you have, and reload speed. It also life steals, depends on how much strength you have as well with that. Harrow relies on strength and duration. I do not have that much duration for this build that I know of. I could be wrong, but we will find out when I give you guys a look of the build in a minute. As for the third ability, it would be the energy well, or whatever the ability was named, I do not remember. Anyway, what that ability did was it increased your energy regeneration by every kill that you got when the ability is activated. That also worked on duration. It's a very good it's a very good ability, and it's not supposed to be subsumed for a different one, but I decided to do it because it was either that or my first ability, and I decided to choose my third ability. So my third ability is replaced with Roar. This is a helmet ability that you subsume a Rhino for to gain this. This is very useful and very important for this build. You do not need it. It is very recommended, but it's not required. Same with the Arcanes. As for the fourth ability, your headshot multiplier is increased by 4 times, and I believe this is the default. And it also has the retaliation, which lasts 18 seconds, and the protection duration is how you get that buff. After that duration is gone, the 9 seconds will be up, and it will swap to immediately to your retaliation, which is depending on how much damage you take, it will give you a critical chance meter or multiplayer, depending on how much damage you take. Any damage higher than a certain amount, I do not know the exact number with it, but it will be in the end of the video for the gameplay whenever that comes along. The max cap is 50% and it's 200% extra critical chance for headshot damage, and it's rather amazing. Harrow is also the Warframe that has that like really staticky background while looking at this while looking at him now. um However, if you do go into the mall in the 1999 expansion and you do stand in a certain part, I will show you guys that in a day that I am doing that. I will probably do a guide on how to do the 1999 or how to unlock it. But other than that, it's amazing. Harrow is definitely a really good Warframe to take pretty much on any mission. I know, Disruption, he can be a very good Warframe to have for the squad build, which I do not have. I only have one build I feature him, and it's usually my self-buff build or any within 100% radius of my range, as my range is 100%, which I will take you guys to that build right now and we'll take a look at it. So let's go hop over to the build. Alright, so we have made it to the arsenal. So the melee we're actually using is the Parados. This is a very fast melee weapon, as my attack speed for the build is 2.45 melee speed. Very impressive. And the incarnate is not maxed. I still have to do this mission yet. It's not too hard. I can do it on my own time like usual. However, bullet jumping is always increased by 100% if you have that. I do use it. It's not always recommended. I do recommend people using the swift transmute, but I use the Vaulting Leap. That's just how my playstyle is. Everybody else is very, very different than what mine is, which is respectful. I don't have any disrespect. You do you. Secondary and primary, the same things as the Excelsior and the Icarus. They are the primes. I do have, I believe, the other weapons. Yes, I have both for each weapon, the original and the prime. As for the build, however, the build is a strength build majority. Arcane Aegis and Energize is what increases my shield recharge and my energy recharge as well when I pick up energy, and when I take damage, my shield recharges almost instantly with the second ability when it procs it. However, you do not need adaptation. You can replace it for rolling guard, as I have right here. Adaptation. I did have rolling guard on it at one point when I had low shield. Ever since I've gotten Prime Redirection, I have just nerfed my health altogether and just used adaptation. Helps a lot. It is very recommended to use Rolling Guard if you have it. If not, you can obtain it through the Arbiters of Hexes after you have unlocked the Steel Path. If you're new to Steel Path, I will have a beginner's guide. Hopefully, sometime next week. I might take a Thursday and pre-record a guide and post it that same day. Not 100% sure, but that's the plan. If not, I'll pre-record and post it on Friday, like I have said in the beginning of my video. As for everything else, I do recommend you run in flow, but you can always use Energy Nexus, which increases the energy regen by 3%. Or 3 by per second, I believe, and the augment I would run for that to buff it just a tad bit more is Energy Siphon, which is 0.6 extra. So those two mods all together, you'd be making 3.6 energy regeneration over time naturally. Blind Rage, I have explained this in my last video. If I have not, I will now. You do get these from Deimos. These are opened up by only a Dragon Vault, if not then you trading through the player chat or Warframe market. Pearson War is also through Syndicate factions. I will show everybody how to get that. The Pearson War is a Steel Meridian augment from them. It is a Rhino augment. But the Private Surefooted and Surefooted, you do not need at all. This build is not required at all to use it, but it is very recommended with the acolytes when you do Steel Path. However, if you use a Warframe that has an Overguard like Stynax, Frost, Cavarro, and Frost, those 4 Warframes, I do believe, and then also Nyx if you do a certain build with Nyx as well. Those 4 to 5 Warframes can also generate Overguard. Preferably Frost and Dante and Cavarro and Stynax. As for arcanes, I will show you where to get these arcanes. So let's jump over there and I will show you where to get them. Okay. Here we are standing in front of Lloyd, and now you're probably asking, why are you standing in front of Lloyd? You're supposed to be showing us where they get the arcanes, not standing in front of Lloyd and admiring his glasses. Well, you see, it's not because of the glasses. This is where you get the arcanes, believe it or not. And I'll show you why. See, you can also farm Dante here as well, but Dante is not for this video today. As for Arcane Dissolution, you will go into here, and this is where you get all the arcanes in the game. This is where you get all the arcanes. However, you do not get some. The Jade arcanes, I believe you do not get from here. I could be wrong, I could be right, 50-50. However, when you get these arcanes, say, for example, Eidolons, you'll hit, how many you have? I have 2,661. You can do as many as you want. They are 200 each, so it's not too expensive, but it is expensive if you don't have any of these arcanes, or any Steel Path arcanes. You can always do the Hyena Pass and get the arcanes from there, and then bring them here. I don't recommend that because they are expensive to get and they're really nice to have, especially when you run into Citrine. However, I do not use Citrine as much as like I used to when she first came out. There's a few reasons why, but that's for another day. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. But these are where you get the arcanes, and pretty much any other ones that you do get. As for the Necrolisk, you do not need to get these. These are all earned from Deimos and the free roam. Same with Solaris. These are not recommended either. Ostron, same deal. Do not waste your Volspher unless you really want to. It's up to you. But do not waste your Volspher on Ostron, the Necrolisk, and Solaris. They are not worth it. As for Eidolons, the Steel Arcanes for Steel Path, the Deveri, Holdfast, I would not either. And for the Caveat, you could for Arcane Melee Duplicate. Very good Arcane. What that Arcane does is increases your critical hits to do twice as much damage when it's a rank 5 Arcane. It's honestly amazing. Love it.
I'll just put this.
That is how you get the Arcanes. You can also get stand-in from here and a bunch of other stuff. As we have now know where the Arcanes are, our last stop for this video is a Simulacrum. I'm going to show you guys how to work that if you don't already have it, how to obtain it, and how to have fun with it. So let's jump over there. Okay, here we are in the Simulacrum. This room is obtained in any relay station that has Samaras. Once you talk to Samaras, you'll go to the far corner of the room, the right-hand side, and there will be a small orb that just floats on top of a panel. You will go to that panel, you will press the X on your keyboard or your controller. Depends on what platform you play. I play on PC and Xbox. I still use controller for PC sometimes. But majority of the time I do. Very few times I will use keyboard and mouse. However, the way the Simulacrum works, you can spawn in your own enemies. 175 is my max due to me being rank 24 in my mastery rank. You can spawn in all kinds of enemies, and they are all here. As you can see, they are all Steel Path. Every one of these enemies I have just spawned in are Steel Path. The issue with the Simulacrum and actual missions, your strength is nerfed by, your damage is nerfed by 40% every time you go into a public mission, whether you're by yourself or you're with friends. So, activate the buffs. However, the fourth buff will not be very useful. I will show you a run of that after I'm done with these guys. But this is what this looks like. The fire rate is a little fast, which is very nice. However, you do run out of ammo really quick, which is okay. Now, if I were to have them shoot at me, as I will do that for you guys now, when AI are paused, all enemies will be unfroze, and they will do actual damage to you. As for example, they are currently doing damage to me. As you can see, they are also coming up towards me. If I were to activate my buffs and just let them do all kinds of damage and just sit there for a few moments, you can see the damage bar going up for damage prevented. Once this is full, you're able to deal all kinds of damage, leaving you with nothing but orange and red crits and sometimes yellow. This is this is why Roar comes in place. Roar is very useful as it is very effective. However, I do not require it's not required, but it's definitely important to have if you're doing a build just like this. You do have to reactivate the force ability buff, but it's nothing too bad. It's always you can always recast it as long as you have the energy. Alright. As you can see, the damage is like over the charts. I love the build I have from the day I've gotten this Warframe. I do I do recommend using the carrier for the Exaltra due to the ammo that runs out really quick with the fire rate from Harrow's abilities and the extra damage. However, you do not have to run it. You can always use a ammo mod that allows you to pick up extra ammo and convert it to assault rifle ammo. Definitely worth it. I still recommend using the carrier, if not carrier prime, whichever you decide to choose. If not, you can also use a warhound. They do not give you the ammo case, not that I know of, but they still are a help. As for the rest of the video, there will be the gameplay of the actual Steel Path mission that I have chosen for it in the Void. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. And I will catch you guys in the next video.
Another life support capsule is now available. The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work. When you are ready, go to extraction. longer you fight, the more successful we will be. I've delivered another life support capsule. Another life support capsule is now available.